Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Can I have a profile, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sai Jyoti, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sai Jyoti, can you quickly talk about yourself? Very brief, okay?
Okay, sir. My name is K. Sayoti. I am currently staying in Hyderabad. I am a recent postgraduate in MNC Computer Science from Usman University in 2022 with an aggregate of 7.1 CGPA. And I also finished my graduation in BSc Computer Science from Usman University in 2020 with an aggregate of 8.8 CGPA. Coming to my strength, the technical skills are my strength. I'm good at manual testing and I know the basics of core Java and I'm a good communicator and I'm a good communicator. Mm, I'm a keen observer and I have the good presentation skills. My hobbies are playing guitar in the free time. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself.
Okay, that's good, Sai Jyoti. Good to know. Okay. So let me set the expectations of this role. Okay. We are looking for a good manual testers. Okay, experience is not a criteria for us. We are good to take even freshers as well. Okay, so we are very good in manual testing concepts, and knowing a programming language is an added advantage. Anything is fine, like C++, or Java, or Python. Any programming language is fine for us. I hope you are clear with the
Yes, sir.
expectations.
Yeah, I'm clear with that.
Are you good now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the very first question I want to ask you is like, why did you choose testing as your career? There are a lot of other skills available in the market, right? As a fresher, what motivates you to take the testing as your career?
Sir, I chosen testing as my career because the quality is more important in the testing. I want to deliver a good product to the customer and I want to deliver a good product in the market. Moreover, the testing has the multitasking like we have to write the test cases if automation needs, we have to use the automation tools and we have to use the one programming language like Java. So I think it is a multitasking and I have chosen the testing.
Okay, that's fine. So you mean to say the main criteria for you is to deliver a quality
Quality,
software to the
yeah,
customer.
customer.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's see. Okay, just before getting into the concept, just I want you to tell how application is developed. Like, can you talk about some of the life cycles, software
Uh,
development life cycles?
yeah. The software by using the software development lifecycle, we can develop the software applications. The SDLC means the software development lifecycle. It is a process of developing software product or project with to fulfill the customer requirements within specific time, cost, and intent quality. In SDLC lifecycle, we have the six phases: the requirement collection, requirement analysis, coding, design, coding, testing, release, and maintenance. In the requirement collection, the business analyst will collect the requirements, and the requirements are written as in a document. The document is called as BRS document. The BRS document is a more detailed documents about the requirements. After that, the business analyst will study on that document whether whether we have to do that project or not. After that feasibility study, the business analyst will intimate with the customer and they'll take a agreement from the customers like SLA agreement. Afterwards, in the requirement analysis, the system analyst will prepare the FRS document from the BRS document. That FRS document is a high-level document, and if the FRS document is good, we can do the project in a good way. In the design part, the designer architecture will design what are the programming languages need to be in that application. In the coding part, developers will write the programmers and develop the application. In testing, in developers after writing the program, developer they themselves conduct some testings like unit testing and integration testing. After that unit testing and integration testing, the that application is handed over to the testing team. Afterwards, the testing team is conducted the actual testing in the testing. Afterwards, we will test the UAT. UAT means It is a end user testing. The release and maintenance. Afterwards, the application is good, we will release into the production and the maintenance. The maintenance means if any requirements are required for the customer in the future, we will maintain that.
Good. I agree with you most of your whatever you explained. I agree with you. But the design is just not about deciding the technology. Okay, the design phase will do more about architects will decide what are the modules that needs to
Model
be
the high
included,
level
high level design
design, low level
documents.
design.
Yeah, there is a lot of things to do there. Yes, that's fine. Okay. Uh, good to know that. Uh, what are the different SDLC models available in the market today?
The now the everyone in every organization they are using the V model, and the modern way of approach is the agile model. The previously companies use it to companies use it the waterfall model. Due to some drawbacks in the waterfall model, nowadays they are using V model, and the modern approach is agile.
Agile. So, what is V model and what are the advantages of V model or waterfall?
So first of all, waterfall model is used for the only small projects. It is a linear and a sequential. It is developed in linear and sequential way. Moreover, after completion of one phase, we can go to the another phase. Like after completion of the requirement collection, then only we should go for the next phase in the waterfall model. And moreover, the testing is conducted very late in the waterfall model. These are the drawbacks in the waterfall model. And moreover, to fix the bug in the waterfall model, it costs so much. This is a one more drawback. And in the V model, whereas testing activity and development activity goes in the parallel. Parallel. This is a drawbacks. Waterfall.
Good. Okay. What is V and V stands there in?
So, first of all, VMV stands for verification and validation. If we look at the V model, it looks like in a V shape. That's why it is designed as V and V model. The verification means here we will verify the document of the application. In the validation, we will validate the applications. So in the verification, we will do the static testing, and in the validation, we will do the dynamic testing. The static testing is testing the project document is called the static testing. In the static testing, we do the reviews. Under reviews, we have peer reviews, walkthroughs, inspections. In the dynamic testing, we do the unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and UID testing.
Good. Okay. What is a white box testing?
So the white box testing is actually done by the developers who have the knowledge of the who have the better knowledge on the code. Actually they are done by the developers. Um, in white box testing, we have the unit testing and integration testing. The unit testing we will test the only small piece of software. In unit testing, we will more focus on the structure of the code, testing the structure of the code. Uh, in unit testing, we have some unit testing techniques like statement coverage, loop, path, and branch and conditional. So we have to use these techniques to do the unit testing. In the integration testing, whereas integration testing focuses more on the integrated components. We will test two or more components together. If the test is okay, we will add more components to the test, and we will test that integration testing. Integration testing, there are three approaches, sir. One is big bang testing, one is bottom up testing, and another one is top down testing.
Good. So you're mainly involved in the functional testing, right?
Yes.
So what is black box testing?
So first of all, black box testing is conducted by the testers. The black box testing is a system testing. In system testing, two different types of testing are there. One is functional testing and another one is non-functional testing. The non-functional testing means we will test the object behavior of the system, object behavior and error guessing, database testing, like that functionalities we will test in the functional testing.
Good. Why it is called black box? Is there any specific reason why?
The because we don't know the internal structure of the code. Getting into the internal structure of the code, it is called the black box testing. Just we need to validate the application whether it is according to the customer requirements. We have to test the only UI phase. We actually we don't know the code getting
Details of the code.
code.
Good. So, how do you write a test case? Like, on what basis you write the test case? What are the documents you use while writing the test case?
So first of all, we write the test cases from one document that is called the FRS document. From the FRS document, we need to identify the scenarios. The scenarios means area to be tested, what to be tested. That is the functionality of the application. After that, we will write the test cases. That is the step-by-step actions to perform the validate functionality of AUT. uh, how to test is called the how to test it is how to test the application is set by the test case. Test is set by the test.
How do you derive that for these test cases?
The to derive the test data, there are mm, some black box testing techniques are there, sir. The ECP, BBA, precision table, and state transmissions. The using the ECP means the equivalent class partition. In the equivalent class partition, the input domain is divided into valid and invalid data to design the test case. It is more important in generating the valid and invalid test data. Whereas the BVA, boundary value analysis, the boundary value analysis more focuses on the boundary value or range or size, and the decision table. The decision table is also called as a cause-effect table. When we have the more corresponding action, more corresponding inputs and corresponding actions. Here we will deal with the combination of inputs in the decision table.
Good, good. That's fine. That's fine. Good. So, what is a defect?
So the defect means the deviation between actual result and the expected result. It actually it is the deviation between actual result and expected result. From the SIT deviation means we will get the defect while doing the testing of the application like other side SIT and other side is UAT. We will get the defect from that side. SIT means system integration testing.
So, can you talk about defect life cycle? Jyoti, what is a defect?
The defect means the deviation of expected result and actual result. We'll find a defect from the SIT and the UAT. In defect we have the defect life cycle. Defect life cycle means defect goes through its life cycle. Defect life cycle start when it is found and defect life cycle is closed when it is closed. In defect cycle defect life cycle we have new, assign, fixed, verify and close. When we pose the first defect, when we logged and pose the first defect, it is referred as new. It is valid one. The defect is valid one, and when valid one and we assign the defect to the developer is called assign. The developer do necessary code changes, and he'll also test the defect is exist or non-exist, and that defect is passed to the testing team. Testing team will do that the defect is fixed or not. If it is fixed, they'll give the status as closed. If it's not fixed, again they'll assign to the developers.
Good. Okay. So, have you ever heard of deferred defect? Deferred defect.
Yeah, deferred defect.
What is that?
Actually, the deferred defect is a defect, but the release schedule is not scheduled by the business team.
Okay. As you're talking about defects, I have some important question here. Do you know the difference between priority and severity of a defect?
Yeah, yes, the difference between severity and priority. The severity tells how important bug impacting on the application. The priority says the uh, fixing of the bug, order of the fixing of the bug. Priority says the severity says how application is impacted or how bug is impacting the application, and the priority says um, how the bug need to be fixed.
Okay. The important of the bug needs to be clean. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm good with that. So can you just go to Agile part?
Yes.
Okay. What is Agile?
So actually, Agile follows the iterative and increment model. The working software is produced in each iteration, and each iteration produces a working software increments. In Agile, in-depth planning at the beginning of the project. The Agile open to changes requirements in the middle of the in the middle of the application. The Agile follows some manifestos like customer satisfaction, face-to-face conversions, delivering a working software, the trust support. There are some manifestos that Agile follows. In Agile we have the four values. We value interactions, and we value the more interactions and people. It means in Agile we will give more interactions and people. The face-to-face conversion with the people. So we will do the more interactions. Next one we value we va-
That's fine. That's fine.
yes,
Agile conversation is fine. But which implementations do you know in Agile?
the Scrum. I know
Oh,
Scrum framework
Scrum
implementation.
framework. Okay. So can you talk about the Scrum framework?
Yeah, yes, sir. The Scrum is a framework. Actually, the Scrum is a framework which is implemented by using the Agile. The in Scrum framework there are a group of five to nine members, and they are called the Scrum team. Scrum team. In the Scrum team, we have the product owner, the Scrum master. Next as dev teams. In the team, will not call as a dev team. In the team, the developer will be there, tester will be there, UI, or every person will be there in the team. Uh, Actually, this Scrum Master is a facilitator who organizes all meeting and events in the project. He checks the Scrum is followed correctly and understood by the every member in the Scrum team. That's about the Scrum.
Okay. What are the different ceremonies we have in Scrum?
So actually there are four ceremonies or meeting. We call it as meeting. We have four. They are the sprint planning, daily stand-ups, and sprint review and sprint retrospective. Actually, the first of all, sprint means the sprint is a time-bound activity which goes for 2 to 4 weeks. The each sprint is an iteration, and at the end of the sprint we will get the working software delivered. In the sprint planning, the everyone has to participate in the sprint planning, like product owner, scrum master, and the scrum team. In that planning, we will pick up the some user stories what to be implemented in that sprint. That is called as the sprint backlog. What are the user stories picked up in the sprint planning? The user stories are called as actually sprint backlog. In the sprint backlog, the picked up user stories will be there in.
Good, good, good. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. So the other question I want to ask you is, which one is the best, V model or Agile?
So, in my opinion, agile is the best approach, because in agile we will do application development 2 to 4 weeks in the each sprint, and we'll show the demo to the stakeholder. If any changes are there, we'll take the feedback from the customer, and we'll take that user story, and we prioritize that product backlog according to the requirement. So I think the agile is the best approach for developing the
But I'll ask
applications.
you one question here.
Okay,
There
sir.
is a very small project where the requirements will not keep changing. Do you still implement Agile there?
Yeah, no, sir, no.
Then,
When it is when it is a complex or big one, we'll approach the agile, because in the complex or big one, we need to change the requirements frequently. Whereas in the small project, in small project, there will be no change requirements frequently. Already it is a small project, and we need not to change any requirements. In
then
that
both
case,
are best in their own
yeah, both
ways.
are best
In
in
their
their
own
own
ways,
ways.
yeah. Agree with me or not?
Yeah, yes, I like
Yes.
it.
It all depends upon the project.
Project, yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good. So that's all from the manual side. Okay. As I told you, maybe we are looking for people who are at least good in one of the programming language. So